Hi everyone, Lori Whitlock here. I've got a really cute new iris shutter style card that you can go get the cutting files in my online shop at shop.loriwhitlock.com. They're SVG cutting files, and you can also get them over at Silhouette at the Silhouette Design Store in Silhouette format. So let me show you this cute card. When you open it up, you've got a cute little graphic that is revealed by this little iris mechanism. Isn't that cool? So on the back side, you just can flip that over and you've got a little panel where you can put your message. You could also attach the entire card to a 5x7 card base if you would like. But look how fun that is. So let me show you some other styles that I've got. Here's a cute camera. It's got a little shutter that opens up to a heart. And I've given you some little sentiments. You can put them wherever you'd like. This one says, "Hi, cutie pie." You could also put that back here if you'd prefer. But I've gone ahead and included a few sentiments in each of these cards. This one's a cute little dog house. Look how fun that is. And there's a little arrow you can glue onto the little handle. Again, that's what the back looks like. This one's a little bird house with a little birdie inside. How fun is that? There's just so many fun things you can do with this. This one's a little kitty cat in a little cat house. And this one is a little fish bowl. Hope your day is cheery and bright. So let's go ahead and put one of these together so you can see how it all goes together. They look complicated, but they're actually quite easy. So these are all the pieces for this happy birthday one that's going to have some balloons on it. Giving you some little confetti pieces. The main card is these two pieces here and these pieces here. This is going to be the insert that goes in for the back, and that's going to be the little sentiment that shows through the hole when it opens up. So I'm going to go ahead and set all the embellishment pieces off to the side, and we're going to put the main card together first. You're going to need maybe a pick-me-up tool of some sort to pick up all these little pieces of confetti. They'll be a lot easier to handle with that. That's what I've got that for. Some tweezers, or just your fingers will work as well. I've got a needle-nosed fine tip little glue bottle. It's going to be super helpful for some of those little pieces. I'm just going to set these things aside right now. Some craft tape. I've got a pair of scissors just to cut the little glue dot paper. And let's see, a pen. That's actually going to be useful for lining up these little holes. I'm going to show you that here in just a minute. And I've got this little tool here for helping to put the paper in the back into the little corners. You don't really need that, but you'll need something to help kind of lift those corners. So I'm going to slide all of this stuff away for a minute. Get it out of our way. And the first thing you're going to need, well, these two pieces aren't quite needed yet either. First thing you'll need is this piece here. And we're going to flip it over so that the little C is up here on the right hand top corner. Okay, and then I'm going to take just a little piece of washi tape, and I've kind of made it less sticky by putting it on my blue jeans. And I'm just going to hold my card down in place with a couple pieces of that to get started. And that's going to help me stabilize the space while I'm working to put these little shutter pieces in. So to put the shutter pieces in, I'm just going to put that in the hole, and then I'm going to rotate it so that that little slider will slide up and down in that hole. And then you'll just line up the C, or this curve here, in the middle. And then I'm also going to take another piece of washi and just anchor that down. You don't want your washi to be too sticky because you're going to pull this back off later, and you just don't want it to hold it down so tight you can't get it out or rip your paper. Again, just put that little tip in and then just rotate it until it slides and matches that curve. Okay. Okay, so then we'll take our third one and just slip that in and make it where it slides, and then line that up in the middle. You want to make sure nothing's hanging out of the middle, or that will show when you're done. And then our last one is hiding right under here. Let's slip that in and rotate it. And just line that up. So you can see our hole there in the middle is all visible, and these just overlap. And these little holes here are going to be really important. That's where you're going to actually put some glue dots. So where did my glue dots go? We're just going to take the mini glue dots. These work really well. You want to make sure that you use something like a glue dot, because these will actually need to be able to rotate a little, and the glue dot is movable enough for these to rotate. So you can take that glue dot and put it right over each of those holes. You want to be as precise as you possibly can with your placement on these dots. You can see them really quite well. So that's pretty easy to put them on. Okay, once you have those on, you're going to take the piece that looks like a Q. And when you're done, you want this to line up here to close off the card. So what you need to do is rotate that back to here, so it looks like a Q when you're holding it. You're going to take the little pin and just put it through the dot and line it right up with that dot that's in the middle of the glue dot below. If you can get one of these perfectly lined up, the others should fall into place. Now you just need to match up that circle in the middle, and then you can just push down on those little dots. Okay, that puts your Q in the perfect position to make your card work. Okay, so now the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take this piece, and you want it to be in this position when you're done. This is the front of your card, but you can't install it this direction. You're going to rotate it back to here, and we're going to install it like this, just where this is covering, just like it's closed this way. And then we'll rotate it all into position when we're done. But these little things right here are little tabs that are going to hold it and stabilize it in place. So it's really important that you don't bend these in a way that would reduce the integrity of the paper. So just make sure you bend them right at the edge of the circle, but don't make these get, I don't know, bent up too much, because if you do, you may as well just cut a new one. You need it to have some integrity. These need to hold the card in place. So just make sure you're careful with those. Tape, let's go ahead and take that tape off. And this is probably the trickiest part of the entire assembly, getting these little tabs in the right place. So now you can kind of lift this Q up a little bit, and what we're going to do with this in the right position is just put them through the middle there, and you're going to lift up just enough, and it might be easier for you actually to just untape the whole project from the table. I'm just trying to show the best way here on video so you can see it. You might want to just be able to lift the whole thing up so those little spikes can go through the middle. And you're going to lift up one at a time and just tuck it under one layer. And then I like to push it down to the table. And then move to the next one, pick it up. Don't get it under both of the layers. Get it under one layer and then put it down to the table, and then just rotate around. And just make sure you're, see how that one kind of bent? I don't want that. So just tuck that under the best you can and try not to reduce the integrity of those little clips. Okay, once you get those in place and everything's down, you can just rotate it to the right position so that your card is put together. And then your little lever, just holding this top layer gently down on the edges here, you can practice with your little lever and it should be working. Okay, so now we're ready to just go ahead and glue our card together. So you can use tape runner, you could use glue, whichever works for you. Now you don't want to impede the handle, so don't really put any glue on this side. I did just a little here at the corner. Also, don't get any glue too close to these corners. That's where you're going to tuck your little sentiment in the back. So you don't want to have anything in here where that corner of the paper is going to tuck. So just right along the edges, and then just line that up. And line, just A little bit of glue along this edge. Again, don't get in by the mechanism, just keep it right along the edge. Okay, now our card base is put together and the rest is really simple. You can just embellish your card. So just for the background, let's just do that while everything's drying good. I have the little, this little spatula that's going to help me kind of work to get these little, oops, I need to flip this over. I need to flip it over so that our happy birthday is facing the hole, not me. And just tuck those underneath. Oops. This is why you don't want to get any glue anywhere near these corners. And you might be able to slip them in without the use of a tool, but I didn't want to bend up my paper trying to do it. So if you don't have one of these, you can use a little pin or something just to get under the edge of that paper. Okay, perfect. So now you have this nice pretty back of your card. You can write your sentiment or whatever there, and when you open it up, you're going to see this happy birthday. So now we're ready to just go ahead and we're going to put this balloon in the middle. But before we do that, we want to put our little balloon strings down. So that's going to just kind of go around the edge there, and then this is going to cover up all the edges of that one. Then you'll tuck it under here. And then we'll put our other balloons on and we'll pull to tuck those underneath there. So what we're going to do is glue down the black piece, but we're going to leave these little tips free so that we can tuck the balloons underneath them. So I'm going to flip that over and just make sure I don't get any glue right around those little balloon tips where the ties are. Whoops, I just did it right there. Look at that. Okay, what not to do. Get a little of that glue off of there. Okay. Just carefully place it around the hole, kind of centering that main balloon piece there. I actually need to rotate this around a little. Okay, should come down here and just hit the edge of the card. Okay. So I'm going to take my main frame here and just put a little glue around that. And you can, that green actually be really cute too, but I'm going to go ahead and use the pink. That's the beauty of double-sided paper. It gives you choices on colors. Let's tuck that under there and then just have that frame the opening there. And this little balloon thing is going to go right there. You might have to kind of force it over a little. I probably should have rotated this just a little bit more, but it's going to work. You can lift that up and then add a little glue under there. Okay, and then we've got 2 more balloons. If you want, you could tuck that underneath there too. Maybe that's what I'll do. We'll glue the little black tie down. Green would be cute, but I'm going to use the blue. Okay, now we're ready to just add the confetti and the little streamers. So just figure out where you want all of those pieces. Now, just so you're aware, in the file, I've given you, hope you have a beautiful birthday. So rather, I mean, you could choose to put this on the front, but it already says happy birthday when you open it up. So I'm going to actually save it for this one to put it on the back. So I'm just going to add a little tape runner to that. Hope you have a beautiful birthday. And we'll just fill up the front with confetti and streamers. And this is where the little pick-me-up tool comes in very handy. So then you also have a little arrow that you can use to put on the little handle here. Okay, so now we have our completed card. It's a really cute little birthday balloon scene, and it says happy birthday when you open that up. And then again, you can just flip it right over and have your sentiment here, or you could just ignore the little corner holes and just put adhesive out here on the outer edges. Don't put it anywhere that this paper is covering up, because that's where our mechanism is, under there. But if you were to use adhesive there, you could attach the whole thing to a 5x7 card front. So I hope you enjoy making these really cute iris shutter cards, and I hope you enjoy putting these together and sending them to your family and friends. Have a great day, and I'll see you in another video. Bye-bye.